Well, folks, I have some good news and some bad news when it comes to fighting back against your workers' compensation denial. The bad news is that the process of prosecuting a denied claim can take time, sometimes up to a year. The good news is that my workers' compensation case was denied. Now what? It's not uncommon for insurance companies to deny workers' compensation claims. In fact, they'll often do so hoping that you'll just accept their decision and give up, saving them thousands of dollars in benefits that they would otherwise have to pay you. Don't laugh, it happens all the time, and it pays to fight back. Approximately 47% of injured workers who receive settlements for their case initially had their claim denied, which means you have a good chance of getting benefits if you're willing to fight back against their decision. But what's the step-by-step process for beating the big bad insurance company? How can you make sure you win your case in court? And what mistakes do injured workers make that end up losing their claims entirely? We are going to answer all those questions right now. My name is Rex Sikofsky, and I became a New York workers' comp lawyer 17 years ago after getting injured on the job. If you're looking for a lawyer to help you with your claim for New York State workers' compensation benefits, please give me a call at 212-406-8989 to schedule a free consultation. If your workers' compensation case gets denied, the most important question to ask is why. There are a lot of reasons why a claim might get denied, and the answer will determine how you will fight back against the insurance company. You should be able to find an explanation in the notice of denial sent by the insurance carrier. Some of the reasons often include pre-existing conditions, missed deadlines, being off duty, being intoxicated, getting injured while away from work, and having an injury that is not work-related. One of the most common reasons for a denied claim is that the injury was caused by a pre-existing condition unrelated to work. For example, if you hurt your back at work, but you also have an old back injury from playing sports, the insurance company might try to argue that your current injury was not caused by your job, and it's just your old sports injury acting up. In this case, you'd want to get medical records documenting the fact that your injury was actually caused by something you did at work. If you have a different reason for your claim getting denied, then you or your lawyer will likely need to gather a different form of evidence to support your argument. For example, if the insurance company claims that you were off duty when the accident happened, you would want to gather evidence such as testimony from coworkers, time card entries, receipts, and cell phone records to prove that you were in fact working. And as we'll discuss in just a moment, it's important to get the best evidence possible if you hope to successfully present your case before a judge. Well, folks, I have some good news and some bad news when it comes to fighting back against your workers' compensation denial. The bad news is that the process of prosecuting a denied claim can take time, sometimes up to a year depending on what state you're in. In some circumstances, it might even take longer. The good news is that fighting back works. According to a recent study, 67% of initial denials convert into paid claims within about 12 months, so the odds are on your side. But before you get started, you first need to decide if you're going to pursue your case by yourself or hire a workers' compensation lawyer. It's not unheard of for an injured worker to litigate their own case, but most people do hire a lawyer at this point. Not only do workers' compensation lawyers have a lot more experience navigating this complex process, but they also get you paid more. Unrepresented claimants receive an average settlement of only $12,400, while those who hire a lawyer receive an average of $18,200, which is almost 50% more. As for the actual process of filing your claim, it varies from state to state. Since I'm only familiar with the process in New York, I'll share how it works here. After that, I'll explain how to win your case in court no matter what state you live in, so stay tuned. Regardless of whether you've received a denial from the insurance company or not, the first step is to file a notice of claim with the New York State Workers' Compensation Board. The law requires that you file your claim within 2 years of your date of injury. If your case is still being denied, you'll need to gather evidence in support of your claim like we just discussed. This could include medical records, witness statements, video footage, employment records, receipts, photos, or anything else that might convince a judge that the insurance company's decision to deny your benefits was wrong. Sometimes, if you and your lawyer are able to gather enough strong evidence in support of your claim, you can avoid a hearing altogether. If the insurance company continues to deny your benefits at this point, then the next step is to attend one or more hearings before a workers' compensation law judge. This is where you will formally present your evidence and offer your testimony in support of your claim. This is where the insurance company may also offer evidence and witnesses in support of their denial. If the judge rules against your claim, then you have 30 days from the filing date of the decision to appeal and request a review of the Workers' Compensation Board. This is done by submitting an application for board review. If the board accepts your request, a panel of board members will either uphold and affirm the judge's decision, modify the decision, or rescind it entirely. If the denial is upheld and you still want to appeal it further, you can request review of the decision by the full Board of Commissioners. You may also take your appeal to the New York State Appellate Division, 3rd Department, or quite possibly the New York State Court of Appeals, but it is very rare that a workers' compensation case will make it that far. So what are some of the things that you can do to ensure that you win your case and get all the benefits that you're entitled to? One of the most simple and critical mistakes is to avoid missing deadlines. The window for notifying your employer of the accident is 30 days, and if you miss it, then the insurance company will use that fact to deny your claim. Here Here's a quick pro tip. When I first start working with a client within that 30-day window and think notice might be an issue, I immediately print out a copy of their claim form and have them mailed to their employer via certified mail with a return receipt. That way, if there's ever any dispute as to whether or not they gave timely notice, we have a return receipt which shows the date they mailed it. There is also a window for filing an appeal that varies from state to state, but is typically around 30 to 90 days from the filing of the judge's decision. Another very big mistake injured workers make is failing to collect enough evidence to support their claim. The judge is going to remain unbiased towards you and the insurance company. So if you go into court expecting to use a sob story to sway them, it won't work. You need to collect strong evidence that will support your case. The strongest evidence in any case is proper medical documentation. At a minimum, you want to make sure your medical documentation includes a history of your accident, a diagnosis of the injury or disability, and a statement of the causal relationship between the accident and the resulting injury. Without it, the judge might not even allow your case to move forward. Also, you don't want just any doctor preparing your medical evidence, because the insurance company will be allowed to depose them in court. This is why it's so important to go see a doctor who is reputable and who knows the workers' compensation system, because they know the rules and they know how to present a strong case on your behalf. This is also why you don't want to rely upon the hospital record from the emergency room, because in all my years of handling these cases, I can't recall the last time an emergency room doctor agreed to appear and support their patient's case. And if the doctor doesn't appear on your behalf when he is called, your medical report will likely be tossed out, leaving you with no medical evidence supporting your claim. For more information about choosing the right doctor, be sure to watch my other video explaining how. I'll include a link to it in the description below. Finally, in addition to hitting the deadlines, preparing good evidence, and finding the right doctor, the best thing you could possibly do to ensure you win your case in court is to get a workers' compensation lawyer. We already learned that hiring a lawyer can make you more money, but more importantly, it will increase the chances that your claim is successful. A lawyer knows how to gather evidence. They have the authority and the experience to negotiate the best possible settlement with the insurance company. And if your case goes to a hearing, they then know how to present it to the judge in the most effective way possible. So if you or a loved one have had a claim denied here in New York State and you would like to set up a consultation with an experienced lawyer who will fight to get your denial overturned, please give me a call today at 212-406-8989. Our conversation is confidential. It costs you nothing and could potentially result in thousands more in benefits than you would otherwise get on your own. And if you plan on fighting your claim denial, then you'll need to know how to conduct yourself in court. I'll include a link to my video explaining how to give yourself the best chance of success when arguing your case before a judge, whether it's over the phone or on video. In it, I share how to prepare, what to expect on the day of your hearing, how to avoid accidentally hurting your case, and a lot more. So click here to watch this video next, and I'll see you there.